points in the fourth quarter for the Kings. Fox with 38 ties John Williamson for the second most in a playoff debut. Luka Doncic is the only player who had more in his first postseason game. So they get 70 out of Fox and Monk on the night. There's a lot to talk about with Sacramento. They earned this win, but I do want to get to that last play. As a coach, what are you telling your guys, knowing that Steph Curry, the greatest shooter that the basketball world has ever seen, is on the floor, and the Warriors need a three? What are your instructions?
Yeah, the biggest thing is somebody else has to beat us if you're Sacramento Kings. And I thought it was a great play design by Coach Kerr to use Steph as a screener and then just find that soft spot opening. But you've got to stay attached to Steph. I don't know if they're switching off ball. I don't know if they're staying with their own. But for some reason, Steph gets open, and that's one thing that should not happen if you're the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, the moment he catches that ball, if you're a Kings fan, you're thinking danger, danger, danger.
Yeah, it is. And I think also it should have been a little bit more pressure on the ball. It was an easy pass from Draymond. I know you want to take away sideline, but I think that's where it becomes phenomenal. The players that can guard the ball can read whether the guy is going baseline or in top. And I thought just having Draymond, just a little touch pass, that was a little bit too easy for Steph Curry.
Yeah, one of the things you do is you tell your on-ball defender to get up, see where the action is, and then shade that area. Everybody knows they need a three. You want to get on the high side. You want to have pressure on the passer. He's got to throw an airtime pass in that situation.
Wild win. Sacramento gets it. Their backcourt, well, not their starting backcourt, but the two Kentucky friends, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, just spectacular in this game.
It was. I mean, finishing. We know how good De'Aaron Fox has been in the clutch. I mean, and for his first playoff game, take my hat off to him. He was calm. He was cool. He wasn't sped up. He kept his heartbeat down. He wasn't racing. And then he started knocking down shots and making plays all over the place. But between him and Malik Monk, which I would give an unbelievable performance, to have 32 points and go 8 for 13, 8 for 13 gives you 32. This backcourt was phenomenal, and they were not scared of the big moment down the stretch. They went toe for toe, and they were the aggressors, and they had Golden State Warriors on their heels down in the stretch.
There you see the numbers I just referred to a moment ago. Luka Doncic, the only player with more in a playoff debut. What do you think both teams will take away from this in terms of strategy and things maybe they want to tweak moving ahead?
I think both teams understand this is probably how the series is going to go. We're in the 120s for both teams.
Yep.
It came down to a final possession. I think it's going to be that way, and I think what's going to happen is Golden State will rely on their offense, the way they run it, off-ball action, playing through Draymond, playing through Kuminga, playing through Looney in the post, and just trying to make Sacramento's guards have to chase and defend. And it's the opposite for Sacramento. They play with the ball. They play in pick and roll. They play in ISO situations. They try and get down. They try and create their shot. It's the reason why Fox and Monk had big games tonight. We'll see a better Sabonis in the future, but I thought Golden State did a tremendous job there.
Sabonis had just 2 points after the third quarter. No, after halftime, now that I think about it. He finished with 12 on the night and 16 boards. Andrew Wiggins came back for Golden State, and this is a big development for them coming off the bench, and he played 28 minutes, which, considering, you know, what's been going on with him the last couple of months, is pretty good.
And I thought incredible minutes he gave them. Amazing, not only just on the offensive end. Defensively, he didn't miss a beat for him, being able to get downhill one-on-one. And, yes, you can tell he had been working out, but sometimes just not having that game reps. I was truly amazed how he played. Like you said, 28 minutes, didn't look winded at all, played a great game. I think for Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors, you have to be happy to see him the way he's played, and then obviously Gary Payton II to be able to come off the bench and all throughout those injuries to come in and play the way he played off the bench.
In terms of possessions, you know, Golden State has a tendency to turn it over. 15 is not outrageous by their standards, certainly, but the Kings ended up getting off 8 more shots. They had 17 offensive rebounds. They out-rebounded Golden State by 9 in total. Is that a concern for Golden State?
It is, and I think the biggest thing is they're going to play small, and they know they'll have some advantages playing small, but that's the unintended consequences. When you start giving up offensive rebounds and you're giving the highest scoring offense in the league extra possessions, you're going to end up on the wrong side of that. So can they find ways to rebound the basketball with a smaller lineup? And can you do that knowing you're chasing and guarding on the perimeter? You got to run back in, you got to find those bodies, and you got to secure the rebound.
And I think also a key, Matt, even though they're young, the Sacramento Kings, the guys who have the ball in their hands in the clutch, can make free throws.
Right.
They can make free throws down the stretch, and I think that was huge for them. I know De'Aaron Fox missed a couple, but overall, they shot 81%, and a lot of those was down the stretch.
Malik Monk can't be overemphasized. 14 of 14 from the free throw line in this game. We'll hear from the head coaches of both. Knicks were able to win on the road, not surprising in these game ones so far. Anything surprise you?
Their hands in the clutch can make free throws.
Right.
They can make free throws down the stretch, and I think that was huge for them. I know De'Aaron Fox missed a couple, but overall, they shot 81%, and a lot of those was down the stretch.
Malik Monk can't be overemphasized. 14 of 14 from the free throw line in this game. We'll hear from the head coaches of both sides, stars along the way. Game one is in the books. Sacramento gets the win, 126-123. So of the 4 games today, only the Knicks were able to win on the road. Not surprising in these game ones so far. Anything surprise you?
Well, this is series for Alex Len. I think this will have to be more of a Trey Lyles because of the speed and because of them going small. And boy, did he come out and he had 16 big points for them.
Yep, on just 8 shots, he had 4 of 6 from three-point range. He's really found himself a home in Sacramento. And at the end of the third quarter, the Kings went on a 15-4 run. If I'm not mistaken, he had 10 of those points. That was a huge part of the game today. Steve Kerr is at the microphone in Sacramento. His Dubs are down 1-0.
One possession I'm thinking about in particular, like quick Clay 3 out to a quick Wiggins 3, missed both. But just generally, what did you think shot selection-wise overall tonight? I think you guys took 53s and then, down the stretch.
We took some bad ones, but I think shot selection was the problem. We're always going to be aggressive, and sometimes we're going to take some quick ones. That's part of who we are, and that's okay. We got great shooters, and I trust those guys. The issue was the offensive boards. They had 17 of them, a lot of them in the second half when we had built that 10-point lead, and that allowed their shooters to get open. Late third, they made their run. They had, I think they got several buckets off of offensive boards, and that really hurt our momentum.
Obviously, Fox got going there.
I'm sorry?
De'Aaron Fox got going there.
Yeah.
Was there something that schematically that you tried that just didn't work, or was it just him being able to get shots when it went?
No, he was great. He made 4 threes in the second half, and he's one of those guys. If he's gonna shoot threes like that, it's going to be a tough night because I think he's 32% for the season, and so you have to play the odds. You can't, especially with all the shooting they have on the floor. So he made some big ones. You give him some credit. I don't think that I'm going to look at that and say, well, that was something we could have done differently. I look more at Malik Monk getting 14 free throws. That's a huge killer for us. Fox is a great player. He's an all-star. He's going to do his thing. But we did not do the job on Monk or Lyles. We had a couple of transition breakdowns in the first half where I know Lyles got a wide open 3, his first one, and that can't happen. You can't give a shooter a wide open look with a breakdown because now a guy like that makes one and the next one is much more likely to go in. So those 2 guys off the bench, they combined for 48 points and the 17 offensive boards. Those are the things I look at.
Steve, how would you assess how Andrew looked in his first game back?
Wiggs was great. So awesome to have him back. We're whole with him out there. Our team makes sense with Wiggs back. I thought he looked really good. I thought he first half he was amazing.